All right. OxFit Podcast is here. Episode 19 getting started, and we have Miss Katie Brubaker as a guest.
Yay!
Aunt's gone. It's girls only.
I know.
All right.
It's kind of nice.
So welcome to the OxFit Podcast.
Yeah.
What do you think? Behind the scenes look?
Yeah, it looks great in here. I'm impressed. I didn't know all this went on.
We've done a lot of work recently, but yeah, it looks a lot better. But yeah, let's just start with you introducing yourself. I don't think everyone at the gym knows who you are. I know EAV folks know you. Grant Park folks probably don't know you that well. So name, what do you do? What are you all about? Who's Katie?
My name's Katie Brubaker. I am 32. I'm an environmental engineer, and I manage the operations for an environmental consulting firm. I've been doing that for almost 10 years and been in Atlanta for that whole time. So not an Atlanta native, but it's home now.
Okay, awesome. And I know you recently had some exciting news.
Yes. I'm engaged.
Here, hold it up again. Hold it up in front of the camera. Can they see it? Yeah, they can see it. Good job, Nate. That's a beautiful ring.
I know. Yeah, it only took him like 8 years of dating to get there. So.
And you guys are both at OxFit together now, which is
Yes.
awesome.
Yeah.
Did you guys work out together before OxFit?
Not at all.
Okay.
Yeah, and like I love working out with him. It's so much fun. It's part of like our routine together. We go to the same class, and yeah, it's been really good. But we've like done separate things pretty much for most of the time we've been together. We actually met playing flag football. So we started with like, that athletic background and but, kind of did our own thing for gyms and fitness.
Okay. So what were you doing before OxFit?
I was a member at another gym. I had been there for like 3 years. I was going like 5 or 6 times a week regularly. It's a really big part of my life. And, I was kind of hitting this stage of like, I think my time has run up with where I was at. Like, I wasn't, seeing growth. Like I said, going almost every day, but, not feeling good, like not, seeing any progress. So before I came to OxFit, I was, starting to look for other gyms, but, getting ready to make a switch.
Right. Okay, so how did you find us? What made you make the switch officially and become an Ox?
Yeah, it was Nate, honestly. So we moved to EAV a little over a year ago, and he joined OxFit. He just, found it online and was like, here's a gym really close to our house. And he's going to laugh at me for saying this, but he would go, once a week, and, he liked it. I'm like, why don't you go more if you like it? But he was going for a couple months, regularly, but not super frequently. And, the cycle was ending and the Bring a Friend Week started. And he was like, my gym, does the Bring a Friend Week. I really want you to come with me. And he had done CrossFit before. That wasn't my vibe. I didn't enjoy a lot about, those, just kind of, abrasive types of workouts. So I was, really nervous. And I was like, I'm not technical, I'm not, super strong. I don't know how to do a lot of these movements that you talk about. I don't even know the difference in these things. But he got me to go with him, and the first day I had so much fun. And it was challenging and hard, but really exciting. And, the coaches were so supportive, the whole class, and I'm I don't know how to hold this equipment for this movement. I don't know what this means. But had very good coaching. And I remember when he was going there and he was like, oh, I was talking to the manager at EAV about you, and she really wants you to come. She wants to meet you, and it's Caitlin. And so I first met Caitlin, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I love her so much. And she was so welcoming just to the gym space. And I told her I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know, And she's like, it doesn't matter. It's all the different levels, all the different scales. And that really helped me get comfortable with doing the movements, doing things I had never done before.
Yeah. I think that is what, my first memory of you guys was Caitlin telling me Nate and Katie just joined OxFit or just joined EAV. They're awesome. And then like a week later, she'd be like, they brought 5 friends with them this week. And then a week later, be like, they brought 5 more friends. And I was like, who are these people and how do they know everyone in Atlanta and bringing them all to OxFit, which was awesome.
Well, and it was like bring a friend week. And Caitlin was like, Katie, you're not even a member and you're bringing more friends than Nate's bringing. Because I like texted my best friend Jenny and I texted a couple other friends from my old gym that we were kind of like, we were all kind of like a group of us kind of looking for somewhere new. And I was like, y'all got to come check this out. Like, I love it. And we had tried a couple other gyms and nothing was really sticking. And so, like, I texted them and I was like, come try this out. And I remember, like, some of my friends were like, I don't think I can physically do these movements that are in the workout. And I'm like, doesn't matter. There's going to be modifications. There's going to be different levels. Like, you know, it's like I couldn't do some of this stuff. And like, I can still, you know, have a coached exercise of working the same muscle, working the same, you know, type of movement that, like, the coach knows that this is going to be a good thing, you know, to build you to that. So, yeah, I texted a bunch of people right away. I was like, come to Bring a Friend Week with me.
It's like a whole squad now. You just, like, overtook the evening classes.
We had a lot of fun.
I love that. Yeah, and that was almost 9 months ago. Mm-hmm. So you've been with OxFit, you know, close to a full year. You spent almost all of 2023 with us. So
I have goosebumps.
you've seen so many, you know, you've seen every season pretty much. You've seen our probably caught the tail end of our last spring training cycle. You got that summer fitness cycle, our fall endurance, and we just finished the winter strength cycle. So through all of that, was there a point that you, like, a switch flipped and you started to notice a difference in yourself? Or would you say you kind of noticed that right off the bat after you joined?
Yeah. I feel like, you know, right away I saw progress, and a lot of that is learning a lot of these, like, functional technical movements. I mean, I started off doing everything at L1, and now I call myself a little L3 baby because I can do L3, like, sometimes, not for everything. But, you know, it was, like, after kind of getting these movements down, getting these, like, you know, the form and the structure of everything, make sure I'm moving properly, working the right muscle groups, not going to hurt myself. You know, like, it didn't feel like a switch for me, but I could look back and see the progress. But I could see, you know, I took before pictures the first week during Bring Your Friends Week, and then when that, like, the summer endurance cycle, I think, ended, took another set of pictures, and I was like, oh my God, like, I look different. And all I did was change what I was doing for my workout. You know, like, looking more slim, looking more toned and defined. And I was like, okay, like, you know, this has some potential. So, and I feel like that has continued and is going to keep continuing.
Yeah.
It's been really cool.
That's awesome. Did you have a set goal for yourself when you started OxFit? As far as, like, do you have an aesthetic goal? Did you have, like, were you trying to lose weight? Were you trying to get stronger? Or were you just in it to kind of see what happens?
Yeah, no, that's a really good question. Initially, it was more like, I want to try this gym, see if this is a good fit for me. You know, like, I go all over about, like, oh, I want to look this way, or, like, I stopped going on the scale because it gets depressing. And when you're gaining muscle, like, you know, it just feels like, oh, I'm gaining weight, but that's not reflective of, like, the changes that are happening. So, it was a little bit aesthetic. Like, I was starting to feel like I feel kind of fluffy. Like, I'm not feeling, like, as toned as I want to be for the work that I'm putting in. And part of that was, like, lack of cohesion, you know, for, like, there was no real program at the gym I was at before. And, like, here you can see the structure. You can see, like, how much time is put into, you know, how you and, like, Caitlin and Ant and I don't know who, you know, is all involved in it, but you plan the programming. And it's really intentional, and you can see the results from that. You know, I think as I've been here for 9 months, which is crazy, like, I'm starting to get new goals for myself. And it's still, you know, improving, like, you know, improving form, improving, like, getting the movements down. But I think, like, strength goals are on my horizon, and I think, like, aesthetic goals are on my horizon. But I try not to put too much pressure on myself for a lot of that, too.
Yeah. No, definitely not. But I've been really impressed with all the progress you've made, and you've definitely been, you know, one of our athletes that I think is a true testament to what happens when you do just show up and you listen to your coaches and you prioritize having fun in the place you work out. We just finished our winter strength cycle, so I've got your winter athlete scorecard with me right now, and it's filled with PRs. You crushed it.
I know, I'm so proud. Look at all those stars. I put stars on my things.
It's amazing. And I looked at it. You added 45 pounds to your 3 key lifts, deadlift, back squat, and bench press. You added almost 30 reps to our workouts, and you had a full extra round on the OxFit beep test, which I know one round doesn't sound like a lot, but if you know that workout, that's really impressive. So you were able to do a whole nother round of, what would it be, 5 chin-ups and 10 push-ups in a minute, which is amazing. How does this make you feel to see this finished?
I'm so proud. Like, I love this. I feel so strong. I feel so, like, accomplished. And this gives me, like, real data to look at. Like, I mean, I'm an engineer, so I'm really analytical. So I can see 8 weeks ago I did this, and, 8 weeks later, here's where I was at. And I just, this is something I couldn't do on my own. I couldn't do without the coaches. Like, throughout the whole 8 weeks, improving form, improving technique, and then, like, knowing that, like, okay, like, I'm strong. I can do this, and I can add some weight. And, it's like, I don't know. It just feels so good. It feels so good to see that.
Yeah. And I think it's cool to show people that, you don't have to be in the gym 5 hours a day. You don't have to be a veteran, professional exerciser to have goals set for yourself and actually achieve them. Like, we give you the tools you need to see what you're capable of, tell you how to put in the work, and then get you results at the end of 8 weeks, which I think is really exciting. And I love that we're able to do that for people. So do you think this gives you some more confidence to not just approach workouts as I'm just going to see what happens, instead be like, oh, I know I can deadlift this, so by the end of this cycle, I'm going to be doing this?
Yes, absolutely. Like, at the beginning of the 8 weeks, that we did the strength cycle, like, there were a couple things in here that, like, I didn't know what my, 3 or 5 rep max was going to be on some of these things. Like, I didn't know how far I could get on some of these. I was just going to, like, give it my all in the time that we had and, like, start getting that baseline. But at the end of 8 weeks, like, I knew, looking back, like, okay, here's what I did last time. So my goal for each of these was, like, for any weight was, like, at least 5 or 10 pounds higher. And, like, some of them, it went, like, way up.
Yeah,
like,
you added 30 pounds to your deadlift, which is awesome.
Yeah, that was hard. That was really hard at the end. And, like, I'm sure it was hard when I did it the first time, but I was like, I'm getting this. Like, I'm stubborn and I'm going to get this. So, no, like, it really did teach me throughout the 8 weeks, like, the different things that were part of the workout each day and each week, like facilitated this. It was meant to build this. And it did. Like, it was awesome.
Yeah, I love that. And aside from just all the hard work you put in the gym, you and Nate also crushed a triathlon. That was awesome.
Yeah.
At the end of our endurance cycle, which was, end of September, you guys did the sprint triathlon down in Gulf Shores with us.
Yep.
How'd you feel about that? Have you always been a person that was open to, like, challenges like that? Or was this maybe outside your comfort zone?
No, this was something I'm always one to, like, take on a challenge. And I mentioned it before, and I'll probably say it again. Like, I'm really stubborn. So if there's something I want to do, like, I'm going to do it, even if it's hard and even if it's, requires extra work. But for the try, like, we trained a little bit for it. We definitely could have trained more. And if we do it again, we definitely will, put in more training. But, like, at its surface, it was like, okay, this is something, like, I want to do and I want to take on. And, it was out of my comfort zone, but it wasn't, like, out of the realm of possibility. And if I wasn't with the group at OxFit, like, I wouldn't have done that on my own. Like, I had, like, coaches, friends at the gym that were like, oh, I'm doing this, you should do it too. And I'm like, okay, I can do this. Like, it's going to be a pretty painful, like, hour of my Saturday morning, but, like, I can do this. And it was just that. Like, it was something that, like, it was really fucking hard. Can I swear on this?
Yeah.
Cool. Should have asked that in the beginning. But it was so rewarding when I was done. And, like, I'm going to do it again next year. I've already got a couple friends like, hey, you can do this. Like, you can do hard things. Like, it's going to be different. and it's going to be a hard, block of time. It's just one hard workout. Like, you can do it.
Right.
So.
And the confidence it gives you, I think, leading up to it in the gym, knowing that you have a goal that you're working towards,
Yep.
and the confidence you get afterwards, because it's just another example of, if I can do that, then I can do anything.
Yeah.
Or if I can do that, I can pick up this barbell.
Yep.
If I can do that, I'm going to set a new PR in the OxFit beep test, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
So I'm really glad you guys did that. And
it was so much fun. I'm impressed, honestly, that Nate did it, because like the day before he's like, I might just not do it. And I'm like, we're going. Like, you're going to do it. Like, you'll be fine.
That's funny. Well, it's just been so cool having you guys added and, join this community and add to this community. What are some things that you've noticed that have maybe changed in your life since you've joined OxFit, 8 months ago?
Yeah. I mean, the first thing, like, I have more friends. Like, this has been such a positive place in my life. And, while, like, fitness and, workout routine was important to me before OxFit, and, like, I made it, a priority to spend an hour a day, like, going to the gym, doing a workout. I, like, love this so much. And I was getting to the point, like, before joining OxFit, I was kind of like, okay, I'm going to go because, like, I should go. And now I'm like, I want to go. I know this workout is going to suck. And I know I'm going to be miserable for, like, 20 straight minutes. But it's only 20 minutes. And, like, we're all going to be doing this together. So I've really, like, gained so many good friends and so many good people, like, in my community. And honestly, like, a lot of gyms, like, preach, like, oh, we're a community fitness, like, we're a gym family, but this is truly a family. Like, I've seen that time and time again, and, like, the support, the, like, encouragement to do something out of my comfort zone, but knowing that I'm stubborn enough, and Caitlin will laugh at this, like, knowing that I'm stubborn enough that I'm going to do it. Like, so a lot of friends, a lot of good, like, activities that I never would have done otherwise, that, like, I've loved doing, like, different races. I grew up running, so, like, I think I've passed the major running point in my life, but doing, like, obstacle races and stuff, like, I love those things, and I love seeing that y'all do them, like, as a group. So, it's broadened the things I ever thought I could do, especially in my 30s. I'm like, this is, people's, like, decline. I'm doing more shit than I ever have done before. So that's been really cool. And, just, like, a ton of personal satisfaction in the growth in all of this. I mean, the scorecards are huge for me, like, seeing that measurable progress, but also, like, seeing, okay, this named workout is going to show up again, and I know this named workout is going to show up again. I'm going to see what I did last time, and I'm going to do better than that this time. And, like, being aware and being conscious of, like, it's growth. Like,
yeah. And, as we keep filling these out, and as you look at the athlete levels on the wall, and as you see, those workouts come back time and time again, I think it's going to make it so much easier for you to have more specific goals for yourself and just continue to see your progress, over time. Which, that makes me really excited for 2024 and all the stuff we've got coming up.
I see that in my future, too. I see, like, okay, now I'm getting comfortable knowing what weights I can do, certain things that, like, I'm going to build throughout the cycle of, like, working on adding weight to that. So by the time we do the workout again, or we do, a certain thing on the scorecard again, like, I'm going to beat that.
I love that. So what do we have coming up in 2024? What's next for Katie?
Oh, honestly, like, who knows? Right now with y'all, I'm doing the Olympic weightlifting program, which started in December and is going through February. So, like, again, refining technical skills. Like, I want to get the movements down so that when we do it in class, like, I can do this quickly, I can do it confidently, and I can add weight to it, and see that progress. So that's a really big thing for me, because I've never done any Olympic lifts in my life. And, I mean, the coaching for that is great. Like, I'm loving that. I'm going to do the Ox 100 thing in January with Caitlin.
That's what I was waiting for.
Yes,
Waiting for you to say that.
Yes. So I've already told her, I'm signing up. Nutrition's like an interesting thing for me, you know, like I can get really particular about it and too focused on certain things. So like it's a balance, and it's something I've kind of like, okay, I don't know if I'm ready, you know, like heard people talk about it. Like, I don't know if I'm ready to do this yet, but I'm feeling like, okay, now that I'm starting to, you know, add weight, see progress, like what else can I get better at? And that's just like a really natural thing, and not just nutrition, but all the habits and all the things that like I'm, you know, doing day to day that like maybe I don't realize I'm doing, or maybe like, you know, have an impact like that I don't see directly, but someone externally could see. So yeah, I'm really excited for that.
Yeah. And I think it's so cool, you know, as you know, get further along in your experience at OxFit, and I'm sure you're starting to realize this, but we want people to know is like, we don't do anything, you know, just because. We never want someone to just do something, oh, you should just do that just because that's what everyone does. We want you to do Ox 100 because we want you to be able to have even more help achieving the goals you want. So if you want these numbers to go up next year, Ox 100 is going to get you there. Yeah. It's not just going to be, well, we're going to lose weight in January because that's what everyone tries to do in January. No, we're going to be on a nutrition journey, 100-day challenge in January to get you where you want to go, to lift the weights you want to lift. Maybe you do want to lose weight, get better at some gymnastics, but yeah, just helping you navigate your journey with everyone else in class is such a valuable experience.
Yeah, and it's been, I mean, like these are all tools that have been here the whole time that I've been at OxFit, but you know, figuring out what I want to focus on at a certain period of time is like allowing me to see progress in one area and then be like, okay, well, this is the next like step. This is the next thing that I want to do, and I, you know, want to focus on and take on. So I'm really excited. And I know like a ton of people who have done it, you know, that I'm friends with in both EAV and Grant Park, and like seeing their progress and seeing their success is really motivating. So
that's great.
Yeah. But honestly, like who knows what's going to happen next year? Like, like I did a sprint triathlon last year, and if you would have asked me like probably even 3 months before, are you going to do this? I'd be like, no, what are you talking about? Like, and I did it.
Yeah, you're going to find new confidence with, you know, every new cycle we do, new workout, new movement, whatever it might be.
And it's like seeing that continued growth that is so motivating and like keeps me coming back, you know, like makes me want to keep doing all these things. Like, even though, like I said, the workouts sometimes they're intimidating and sometimes they're hard, and like, I mean, they're always hard, but sometimes they're like really, really like, Savannah, what did you program in this? And I'm like, I always ask like the coach, I'm like, who put this together? And they're like, you know who put it together? I'm like, I do know. Like, but I want to go and I want to improve that particular piece and then see that build. So,
yeah, it's all for a reason. That's what got you all these PRs, Katie.
I know.
Who put that together?
I know. And like, you know, sometimes there were some curse words in class, and
it's okay. You got through it. I love that. So what is your advice for somebody who's maybe in the same space you were 9 months ago? They're at a gym, they like it, they're going there every day, but maybe they're thinking about making a switch. What would you say if they were considering OxFit?
I feel like I've said this to so many friends, so I've got this down.
Yeah.
Like, come try a workout with me. Like, come, you know, see for yourself. Like, this stuff looks hard, and there is a lot of technicality to it, but it does not mean you have to be like an Olympic athlete or a CrossFit athlete to come be a part of OxFit. And like knowing that every single movement, part of the workout can be scaled, can use a different weight, but you're being, you know, coached through it all the same. Like, that means so much. So, yeah, what I would say is just come try it out with me. I know some people, I can get you a free class, you know, or come during, like, I always invite a bunch of people during Bring Your Friends Week.
Yeah.
But, you know, just like, come try it out. Don't worry about being intimidated. There's people at all levels and all ages. Like, it's a place for everybody.
Absolutely. And I think, you know, I filled out a lot of these scorecards, and there are people that, you know, started 9 months ago when you did, and they learned these movements, filled it out, and they retested it and got PRs. There are people that have been members here for 3+ years, filled it out, went through the cycle, got PRs. So we really can, you know, meet you where you're at.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
People should take
absolutely.
you up on that. They should come
I
work out
know.
with you. Come to EAV with you and Nate. You guys can bring even more friends
Yeah.
over there.
We're going to take over. I think that's the plan.
All right. Katie, taking over EAV.
It's going to happen.
Watch out.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, thank you so much. I love this. I love
Awesome.
hearing your story, and I can't wait to see what you do in 2024.
It makes me so excited. I'm excited for the new year. I'm excited for more progress and, you know, like, just continuing all of this. It's been so great.
Let's go.